Hello, Elaine ladies. Since I'm already here, I'm just gonna go ahead and film this for you because I don't know what the rest of the day is gonna look like for me right now. I'm riding a Tylenol high, so I'm just gonna go with the flow. I have my heating pack on me, so I'm getting pretty warm. So I took my bonnet off just to sort of help cool me down a little bit. So you'll see that I'm still wearing the same robe, bonnet's off. It's the same day, just basically a few seconds after my stims update. So it's just seconds after. But anyways, this update is just gonna give you a little bit insight into what my retrieval was like. So my retrieval, to sum it up in a word, horrible. Okay. You if you want to interchange that to terrible, you can use that too. Any word that describes absolute pain, you can go ahead and interchange that word with horrible. Whatever you choose, you can go ahead and fill that in, because that is exactly what my retrieval was like. Started off, my retrieval was supposed to be 8:30 in the morning. I get there, I was told to be in at the RCC. Sorry, you'll see me do these deep breaths. That's cramping. Even though I have the Tylenol, I can still feel like a cramp. Like, I don't feel a major pain, but I can feel a cramp. So anyways, and anyways, I'll get to that. But anyway, so I was told to be there at 7:30 for an 8:30 retrieval, so I could get blood work done, my IV in, fill out any forms I needed to, pay any fees I needed to pay, and just relax until they were ready for me at 8:30. I did not get into my retrieval until 8:50. Why? Because for some reason there were supposed to be 2 retrievals that morning. Mine was scheduled the Monday. My retrieval, just for an update, took place November 1st, which was Thursday. Do I have that right? My retrieval was not Thursday. No, the 1st, November 1st. Okay, you know what? Forget days. I'm a little, so you guys fill in the days. I'll give you the date. My retrieval was November 1st. So my last visit before my retrieval, that's when it was scheduled for me. So they called into the operating center and then tried to book a slot for me. I was given 8:30. Now, apparently there was supposed to be 2, like I said. One woman's retrieval was canceled for whatever reason, I don't know. But while I was there, I got my IV in. She actually tried twice on both right and left arm. She did my right arm first because that's my blood arm. They always take blood from my right arm. They've never taken blood from my left arm. So she tried my right arm. For some reason she got the catheter in, but it didn't something went wrong and she had to do it again in my left arm. And it was a trial trying to get access my vein in my left arm because I was nervous, and usually when I'm nervous you can't find my veins. Now my right arm has been used a number of times, like throughout this entire journey. So it's like it's popped, it's ready to go. But my left arm is being the stubborn vein that it's always been when I'm nervous. So it had no experience with popping and being ready for any kind of needle. So it took her a while to sort of find my vein, get it readied, and then get the needle in, the catheter, and get that all thing set up. But she did that, which was fine. I knew how my veins operated, so the moment she said, I'm going to have to try your other arm, I knew it was going to take her a while. So I wasn't worried about that. I didn't care about that. It wasn't a concern for me. I wasn't upset with her, although she apologized like so many times. But, it is what it is, right? So she got that in, and we're waiting, and 8:30 comes, and I'm getting more nervous because, again, the bad part is we women who go through these things have each other's experiences to sort of use as reference points. So I've heard the horror stories, and I've heard the, oh my God, it was so wonderful, I felt nothing, I slept through the whole thing. I was out, and then the next thing I knew, I was here. Like, you hear those stories. So you get both ends of the spectrum, right? And everything in between. So I didn't know what I was going to get. But I remember specifically having my IVF coordinator say to me, oh, well, some women are lightweight. Some women are much better with the drug. Some women go out right away. Some women don't. Some women just sort of hover in the middle where they're comfortable. They don't feel anything, but they're very much aware. In my head, I'm thinking, listen, I don't like needles. You guys know I don't like needles. So here's hoping this shit puts me out. Because the thought of a needle entering up my vagina and poking a hole through the wall of my vagina and poking another hole through my ovary. Ow. I was not looking forward to that. So I'm like, I'm hoping, inwardly hoping that I'm one of these women who is out. Like, I'm sleepy. I don't know anything that's going on. And I wake up in recovery. I'm hoping. Did that happen? No. So anyways, I'm getting nervous. My nurse calls into the doctor who's going to do my procedure. Apparently, Dr. Goodrow didn't know she had a retrieval that morning, but she's on site, which was great. Somehow, they thought the canceled retrieval was also my retrieval that was canceled. So they did not have me down. For a retrieval in the other end of the building. So I'm sitting on the operating room end, prepped and ready to go. Dr. Goodrow is out and about around the building seeing different patients because she's the doctor on duty that day. She's seeing other patients around, doing scans, chats here and there, updating clients and patients, and doing all this thing. And now all the time I'm sitting there waiting for my retrieval, and she has no idea. But anyways, that aside, they figured it all out. They realized, no, we had 2 IVF retrievals, 1 canceled, 1 still here. So they came. Sorry, I'll explain that. Got me prepped and took myself and my husband to the operating room. Okay, my IV's in. I'm ready. I'm on the table. My legs are propped up, which was, I hadn't heard. I was trying to figure out, how are they going to keep my legs up if I'm going to be loopy? But then when I got in there, I'm like, oh, these things, what they call them, stirrups? I'm like, oh, right, okay, stirrups. That's how they keep your legs up. But anyways, if anybody else was wondering, I'm probably the only one who was sort of like clicked off. Like, the stirrups part of my brain was not working, because I'm like, how are they going to keep my legs up if I'm loopy and sleepy and, stirrups? But anyways, I get in there, they put me in stirrups. She pops the medicine into the IV, and I'm looking up at the ceiling. And the one thing that I did notice was somehow it looked like the ceiling tiles were moving. That's it. But then it shifted completely. I felt, outside of just seeing like the ceiling tiles were moving, nothing felt different to me. I felt the needle puncture me. I felt her going into my ovary. I felt her moving that around. I felt her move into the next ovary. It was painful. And my husband is standing there, and he's rubbing my shoulder, and he's holding my hand, and he's kissing my forehead, and I'm trying to keep it together because I know this is what is necessary for them to get to the next phase of this process. And I couldn't, because it just hurt so much. And then Dr. Goodrow asked the nurse to give me another, whatever the measure they use for these drugs, to give me another dose. Nothing. Not a damn thing. I continued to feel everything she did. I was in so much pain, I started crying. Still trying to keep it together, but tears on tears on tears. And the nurse is just trying to like comfort me and tell me, it's almost done. I can hear her standing there. She's like, directing Dr. Goodrow, and Dr. Goodrow's also looking at the monitor, and she's trying to figure out, okay, where else we need to go. So they're just letting me know that, listen, we're almost done, just a few more to go, and then we can do another scan to make sure we got everything, and then you'll be out of here. We'll be completely out of here. But my God, that shit was so painful. I could not believe that women have to go through this under this nonsense. Like, why don't they just put you out? Like, this is unbelievable. Like, that kind of pain, and they don't put you out? Like, what kind of pain do you need to go through for them to not, for them to, like, put me out? God damn it. Sorry. But basically, I was just very upset. Anyways, she got done. She's like, quickly exits, tell me, oh, you did so good. And I'm bawling. To this day, though, when I replay that in my head, I don't know how I wasn't wiggling and trying to get off that table. I don't understand it. Because you feel that kind of pain, and I'm thinking your instinct would be to remove yourself from the situation, pull away from the needle, get away from her. Somehow, my butt stayed firm on that table, and I can't understand how I stayed there. Like, maybe the drugs did something after all. Maybe it did something I wasn't really conscious of. But I stayed there, and I got through the whole thing, and in the end, they're like, oh, I didn't even see, not once did I see the embryologist come in and collect those tubes. Not once. Because I was staring straight at the ceiling. Because, first of all, I didn't want to see that needle. The wand with the needle on it. Ow. So I was staring straight at the ceilings. And then I was crying. And I was just trying to be like strong and just get through it. So not once did I see. My husband is the one that explained to me, like, the guys came in. They kept giving them back. And they kept telling them the counts that they at certain points, how many eggs they had retrieved. I heard none of that. I saw none of that. I was just like in pain, and oh my God, that's where I was. I was very much tunnel vision in that bit of pain that I was in. Not bit, God dang it. No, not bit. A whole lot of pain I was in. So anyways, that gets done. They take me back to recovery. And I knocked out for like 10-15 minutes, my husband told me. After that, I was awake. But then I heard everything. I was sleeping, but I could hear the nurse come in and ask my husband, is she okay? How is she doing? That kind of thing. I could hear everything that was happening. I heard another nurse come in and talk to my nurse. So I heard everything, but I was asleep somehow. But that was that. And then I got up once I woke up after like 15 minutes because I heard my husband say something. I can't remember what it was he said. And I got up, and then she wanted me to go pee. I did that. I was bleeding. She's telling me, oh, spotting. Like, no, I'm fully bleeding. I need to get something on. And then she went in and took my IV out first. Let me go back to the bathroom. They had to catheter me, actually. I didn't think I mentioned that. While I was in the procedure, they had to catheter me. So I'd peed before I went into the procedure. But while I was in there, when I guess once the doctor took a look at my ovaries and everything, she's like, okay, you have some urine in your bladder. We need to catheter you. That, I didn't really feel that. She did that. It was pretty quick. My husband saw it. He was like, oh, that's what that ball was. So he understood what he saw when she said it was urine, and then when she drained it and everything. So he got to see that, which was, I'm just happy for him to be able to see the process. But then that I think caused it to be harder to pee once I did go pee, because for a while I was sitting there and I'm like, maybe I don't need to go pee. Maybe I can't pee because they just drained my bladder, so maybe I don't need to pee. But then slowly a trickle came out, and it burned, and then a ploof, and then I started to pee. Stood up. I should have mentioned that to the nurse. Again, sorry TMI, but I just want to let you know everything that happened. There was a clot in the toilet. I kind of want to think that came from my bladder or from my urethra. I'm not sure, but it would make sense that it came from my urethra because of like it felt like while I was trying to pee, the first initial psh, and then the blockage, and then a poof. So I'm thinking that's where it came from. But anyways, I was able to pee. Then they told me I could leave. So then my husband and I, we got ready. I left. On our way home, he picked me up some like hot soup from a Caribbean restaurant. We came home. I played on YouTube for a while, then fell asleep a few times. But anyways, that's that. The next day, I just kept taking my Tylenol and sort of making sure to keep the pain under wraps. But the next day is when things were like really intense. Like I got so much gas because peeing, going to the washroom to relieve yourself. Like I had no constipation, thank goodness for that. So going number 2 was easy, except cramping and getting up out of bed. That was insane. Very painful. Peeing every time you needed to like, clear your bladder. That was just like painful because I don't know, maybe because I was cathetered there for a little bit. I don't know, but that was super painful. So, but then it was the gas buildup. Like, because just farting, sorry. Farting was hard to do because, of course, to just let it happen on its own is just a little bit of the gas would pass. And then some of it would stay because I can't push because that shit hurts. So I'm not going to push. I'm just going to let it happen. And so a lot of your gas just sort of stays in your stomach and continues to build in, in your intestines or whatever. And then I can't release it how I want to. And then you're eating and you're taking in gas that way. And then, so all I could do really to relieve myself was to make myself burp, like swallow a little bit of air so that I could just like, I don't know if that everybody else does that, but that's how I make myself burp. I swallow a little bit of air. I don't swallow it completely, but I just swallow a little bit of air down my throat, and it usually helps to like, I don't know, push air up. So I was trying to make myself burp as much as I could, just sort of help to release the pressure. But it got to the point where I was so completely bloated and there was so much pressure in my stomach, it was hard to breathe. So I went online and Googled, and some women were saying how it was not gas, it was your ovaries and trying to fill back up with your follicles, trying to fill back up with water and da 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 da. But I'm like, I don't think that's what it is. I think this is gas. So then I tried calling to my doctors, no answer, not at the front desk, not at the nurse's desk, nowhere. So I ended up calling this service here in Canada called telehealth, where you get to speak to nurses about your situation and they give you advice as to what to do next. So I was advised to go into the doctor's office and to take an antacid. So that's what I did. I didn't end up going to a doctor's office because my doctors end up calling me and then telling me, no, this is normal. They don't think that this is my ovaries, just or anything like that. They just think this is gas. Try the antacids. Keep an eye on everything. Sorry. Excuse me for that. And just, but take the antacid and see if that helps you, but keep them abreast of the situation. So then I took the antacid and that helped. I was able to, excuse me again, burp more readily. I was able to pass gas more readily, and slowly the pressure started to just reduce in my stomach. And I think probably a lot of the swelling that's happening down there sort of probably contributed to the fact that I couldn't pass gas as easily as I would have been able to. So that's something I never really heard anyone mention, like they've gotten really gassy and like lots of pressure build up in their stomach. Like I hadn't heard that, so this was new for me. This was a symptom or that I hadn't heard about or hadn't prepped for. So anyways, that's happened. So right now I'm feeling lots better. Today is day 3 for me. Yep. So my retrieval happened, I had my gas day yesterday, and today I'm feeling a lot better, like gas wise. I don't have any of that anymore. It's getting a lot easier to get up and walk, except it's still sort of like you still do this. Well, I am still doing the sort of bent over walking, shuffling kind of thing, because I feel like if I stand up straight, I don't feel anything, but I feel it's more uncomfortable to stand up straight. So I'm sort of bent over still, slightly bent over, and it's getting easier to pass gas, it's getting easier to urinate, it's getting easier to just get lower my body down onto the toilet, period. So that's improvement. Yeah, I'm drinking all the Gatorade. I think I'm overdoing it on the salty foods because yesterday I was going nuts just trying to figure out what's going on with my stomach and worrying that it actually is my ovaries. So I was just downing like chips and Gatorade. And everything I could get my hands on that was salty. And like soup. So I think I ate probably way too much than I needed to because I'm thinking, maybe I'm not getting enough salt. Maybe I'm not drinking enough Gatorade. So I just kept eating and eating and drinking the Gatorade, but it turned out it was just a lot of gas. So I'm doing lots better now. But of course, I want to point out that I'm sure you realize, or maybe you haven't, so I'll point that out, that not everybody has my experience. I am probably, I don't know how many women go through this much pain in their retrieval, but kudos to you women who fall asleep the moment that medicine goes into your IV and you don't feel a thing, know a thing until they wake you up in recovery, because that was certainly not my experience. I felt every poke, every puncture, every shift of the needle. I felt it all, unfortunately. So anyways, I believe that's everything. I don't think I skipped or forgot anything to mention to you. If there's something you'd like to know about the retrieval and how that went for me, please let me know down below and I'll fill in that information for you. If there's something that you're confused about, maybe I didn't lay something out as clearly as I thought I did, please let me know that too, and I can always answer that question for you. So anyways, I'm recovering. I'm doing lots better than I did yesterday. And my next video will be an update about the number of eggs. Oh, well, I could tell you the number of eggs now. So they told me they retrieved 16 eggs, which is funny because the chart that I got from my nurse showed me way more eggs than that. But I think at the time I wasn't considering the fact that some follicles don't contain eggs, which is... Yeah, sorry about that. That was a phone call from my husband, so I'm going to try to just cut the two together and sort of end this nicely. I forget where I left off, but basically that's my egg retrieval update. I'm doing fine now, much better. And tomorrow I will let you know. Oh, this is where I was. So they got 16 eggs, and I was confused at first because from the chart I got, it showed me more eggs than that. Actual size of follicles already. I mean, more follicles than that. The sizes and everything. Number on my left, number on my right. In total, it looked like potentially 20. So I was a little disappointed when they said 16 right after the retrieval, because I'm like, what happened to the rest of them? But then I remembered that not every follicle will have an egg, which is a little like, why didn't all of my follicles have eggs? Or what happened exactly to those eggs that are labeled in my chart? So yeah, that's sort of that. But anyways, tomorrow I get my day 3 call, and I'm going to do a separate video just to sort of update you about what those are. That's going to be pretty short because you've pretty much had everything so far. So my embryo update I'll let you know about in my next video after I receive my day 3 call, so we know where we are. I'm just hoping it looks good. I just really am hoping it looks good. God willing, it's looking good. Anyways, I will let you guys know as soon as I do what that looks like. All right, ladies and gents, thanks so much. Till next time. Bye bye.